Good morning. This is our third vacation video where we're studying Hilchos Talmud Torah, the laws of Torah study in the Rambam. Today we're up to Halacha Hey of Parak Aleph, so the first parak of Hilchos Talmud Torah, and this is Halacha Hey, the fifth halacha. Le'olam yomod adam Torah. The Rambam starts off by saying that a person should always learn Torah. V'achar kach yisa isha, and only after he has learned Torah a sufficient amount, then he should get married. Because if you get married first and then decide to learn Torah, so then your mind won't really be available to learn Torah. You won't be open to learning Torah, and why? Because you have responsibilities of supporting a family. So the first thing the Rambam says is first learn Torah, get a solid knowledge of Torah, get a solid base of Torah knowledge, and then and only then should you go ahead and get married. But if your desires are getting the best of you, meaning you're too distracted, when am I going to get married? I want to get married, or I have such desire, I need to get married, and I'm not concentrating on my learning anyway. So then in that case, since you're not learning anyway, although it's not the best thing is to get to the point where you can learn it without distraction. But if you can't manage that, if that's not going to happen, so then what you should do is you should get married and then learn Torah. Okay, so first thing is you learn Torah, get a solid base of Torah knowledge down pat. Then and only then do you go ahead and get married. Start halacha vav, going on to the next halacha. Me'emasai aviv chaye lamdo Torah. From what point in a child's life does a father's obligation to teach their son Torah? At what point does that begin? Is it at 5 years old, 10 years old? At what age? So he says, Mishiyaschil adaber, right? From the time that he starts to talk, as soon as his son begins to talk, so then Melamdo Torah Tzivalanu Moshe, B'Shema Yisrael. So then the first things you teach your children are the pasuk, right, that we're all familiar with. Okay, it says Torah Tzivalanu Moshe, Morasha Kilos Yaakov, that Hashem Torah Tzivalanu Moshe. This is the Torah that Moshe commanded us. Morasha Kilos Yaakov. It's an inheritance. It's a portion for the congregation of Israel. That's the first thing. And then the second pasuk you teach is Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Okay. V'achar kach l'amdo ma'at psukim ad sheyeh ben sheish el sheva hakol ufi biro. Then afterwards you teach him a few psukim, pasuk here, pasuk there. Now some of the big psukim you teach him, right? It's just that he gets into the practice and the habit of understanding Torah and learning Torah until he's about 6 or 7 years old. But again, there's no standard here. You can't say for every child every single thing is the same. It's all according, the Rambam says, according to the understanding and according to the nature of the child. And then, once the child reaches 6 or 7 years old and he begins to be able to sit and learn, so then what you should do is you should bring him to a children's teacher, right? Take him to preschool, take him to first grade, second grade, whatever it is, until the child is able to, right? The child begins to start the learning process. Okay, halacha zayin. Haya minhag medina likach malamed hatinokes schar nosin lo schar. Right, the Rambam has a very you're going to see it very strongly as we go on, but the Rambam has a very strong belief that teaching Torah should be for free. In other words, teachers shouldn't get paid, and we shouldn't be paying for Torah lessons. But if the custom, the Rambam says, is that Melamed Tinokas, that these preschools and the first and second grade teachers that are teaching our children do get paid, if that's the custom, so then you have to pay. You can't walk into preschool and say, listen, the luck is we don't pay, so I'm not paying. Here's my son, watch him, start teaching him, but I'm not paying, right? So that we don't do. So he says, and you're obligated, the father is obligated to pay for these lessons until the son has gone through all of Torah Shebechtav. That's all of Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim. Makom shenagu lamdo Torah Shebechtav b'schar, muter lamed b'schar. Right? So if the custom is to teach with for money, so if that's the custom in the town, so then the teachers are allowed to charge. Aval Torah Shebal Peh also lamda b'schar. Right? So Torah Shebal Peh, and this is where we're going to have our question today. When it comes to Torah Shebal Peh, so that is forbidden to charge money for. Okay? Where do we get that from? Shenemar Rei lamati eschem chukim mishpatim kasher tzivani Hashem. right? So Kodesh Baruch Hu says, look, I've taught you, I've given you the Torah lessons, and Hashem says, Ma ani b'chinam amadati, afatem amadatem b'chinam mimeni. Right, so the Rambam says, he brings up this pasuk that says, just like I taught you for free, meaning Hashem didn't charge us to learn, so too you should teach for free. And also, as we teach for generations, you should be teaching for free. Let's say you don't have a situation where somebody is willing to pay for free, right? So you don't do b'schar, so then you have to pay. Right, so let's say you'll say, well, I had to pay for my Torah lessons, so I'm also going to charge when I teach other people. So we learn that it's forbidden for you to charge to teach, even though your Rebbe might have charged you. You can't charge other people. That would be forbidden. Okay, so here's today's question. All right. Question is, what's the difference between Torah Shebechtav that you're allowed to charge for and Torah Shebal Peh that you're not allowed to charge to teach? What's the difference between them? Why is it that when it comes to Torah Shebechtav, Tanakh, right, the written Torah, that I'm allowed to charge for? But when it comes to Torah Shebal Peh, the Rambam won't entertain the notion that you're allowed to charge to teach it. Now, that's the question. I look forward to your answers. Have a great day, everybody.